All right. Hey, welcome back to the J Podcast. This is the J here again. Today, I'm going to talk about whether it's possible to hack, quote unquote, the brain, or in this case, reprogram the brain. And just TLDR, yeah, I think it is possible. If you think of the brain as a series or a bunch of connections that fire these electrical impulses, what they've tried in the past is transcranial direct current stimulation, but the most recent study that I'll have pulled up over here talks about alternating current. And what's interesting is that the previous version, the direct current, didn't show as much promising results as the alternating current has shown. But do take this with a grain of salt, as it says that there was a small study done of about 32 people. Quote from the article here, it says, "We conducted a small study of 32 people because this sort of approach had never been done before," said senior author Flavio Frolic. What a fantastic name. Associate professor of psychiatry and director of the Carolina, oh man, my Missouri is showing, Center for Neurostimulation. But I take it with a grain of salt because in the above paragraph it says 70% of those people showed an improvement. And why I take that with a grain of salt is if you do a quick little math for those paying attention at home, that's 22.4 people. I don't know what a 0.4 of a people is. So I'm a little skeptical, but you should always take results with a little bit of a grain of salt, and you should always be reluctant to just believe everything you read and hear on the internet. That's hopefully what you get from listening to the show. But if we do go into this a little bit further by Mr. Frolic, he says that they found, quote, 70% of people in the treatment group reported at least a 50% reduction. More weird numbers. Do know that like 90% of statistics are made up, but 50% reduction of depression symptoms according to their famous depression study scores. This response was significantly higher than the one for two other control groups. So they did have control groups, and a previous part of the study did say that they did it double blind, so they didn't tell which group they were in. And the scientists conducting the study were also not told. It was like done in a randomized way, which person was in which group that they were in. A few of the participants had such dramatic decreases that Frolic's team is currently writing case studies on them. Participants in the placebo and control groups experienced no such reduction in symptoms. But this is interesting because when I read us doing stuff like this, we're putting big old hats on our heads and we're firing electrical signals into certain spots to try to emulate brain activity, which is essentially like reprogramming or hacking the brain. It makes me think that we're kind of the aliens that we're afraid of. You know, if you imagine those sci-fi creatures that do crazy stuff with their high-tech computers and their medicine, that's us. We're the aliens. That's terrifying. Because, yeah, this is cool what they're doing here, trying to use it to cure depression. But if you've seen Fringe, can you imagine this in like a dark underground sci-fi lab sense, using this for evil instead of good? What can you program a person to do with a little hat like this? I shouldn't be wondering these things out loud on the internet, but that's what I mean, is like, if these do work, great, but do you want to advertise that to everybody? Like, how good do they work? I hope it's effective for depression. I hope it's not effective for evil. I just wanted this to be a quick one. I appreciate you guys tuning into the J Podcast. I'll put all of this, there's pretty much just one link in the description below, but thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.